The Batman universe created by Matt Reeves, which debuted with the excellent movie The Batman, released in 2022, and also the excellent series The Penguin, freshly released, are in danger? Unfortunately, I have the impression that it is. Fresh rumors have come out about this universe, and I must admit that they are very worrying. That's why we really need to talk about it, because I have the impression that this universe is not going to give itself as much as what was originally planned. If you haven't watched the Penguin series yet, don't worry, this video will not spoil the series at all, at least the main plot. So you can stay if you are a fan of this universe, The Batman by Matt Reeves. Anyway, as I said, new rumors and even official information are here, and we're going to talk about it right now. Before that, I obviously invite you to subscribe to this channel, to activate the bell so as not to miss the next Marvel and DC releases, and of course, to leave a like. It's always a pleasure. A comment, it's the same. After the release of the film The Batman in 2022, rumors have gone wild. We talked about many spin-off projects in preparation for Villain. It was a real badverse that was being prepared, a badverse that continued with the excellent, as I said, series The Penguin. Rumors of projects, well, we really had a lot of them. Whether it's a series on Arkham Asylum, a series on the Gotham City Police Department, and in the way of the Penguin, series really centered on antagonists. Like, for example, a series on Professor Pig, a TV show on the Scarecrow, a TV show on a realistic version of Poison Ivy, and another that made a lot of ink flow, a spin-off project in preparation, which was even envisaged, a character to appear in the film The Batman Part 2, to be introduced in this film before having his own project, the character of Clayface. So yes, this was a realistic version of Clayface, inspired by the comics Batman Earth 1, or inspired, for example, by the excellent Batman Cape Crusader series, where it's not this big clay monster, but a more realizable version in a realistic universe like that of the Matt Reeves. However, a lot of plans would have changed. First of all, we talked about it in the video, but yes, the Clayface project has indeed changed and is now heading towards a film in the DCU. For once, it's not 100% to displease me, since I like the Clay version of Clayface more, and it's a character that is still much more fantastic. So the fact that it's being developed in the DCU is a much better thing in my opinion. Does this mean for me that it deserves to have a solo film? Not the least of the world. Let me explain. In the Reeves-verse, it would have been different because it's a universe 100% centered on the character of Batman. Now, the DCU is a character centered on all the characters. So for me, the only characters that are legitimate in this universe to have solo projects are the character of Batman and possibly Nightwing, and why not Red Hood? A villain like Clayface would be much more legitimate to appear in a Batman movie or in another program on one of the members of the Bat family. Now, you've probably already heard about this Clayface movie. The other thing that is very interesting is that yes, there was indeed a project on the Scarecrow that was in development and a project on a realistic version of Poison Ivy. However, these two projects would have been canceled. They wouldn't happen anymore. They're no longer in development. This would explain why the character of Theo Rossi became Julian Rush, even though he was perhaps planned at the beginning as Jonathan Crane. Visibly, despite the fact that Matt Reeves had announced that another spin-off was already in preparation, if we make a global observation, I have the impression that James Gunn is really trying to make sure that this universe doesn't develop more than Batman movie. The Batman Part 2, he'll see the light of day. No worries about that. The Batman Part 3, very likely too. A second season of The Penguin is not unthinkable given the success of the first season. Now, as said, this success of this first season of The Penguin, well, I would really tend to think that it's going to shake things up at Warner Bros. And that possibly Matt Reeves will still have the right to a few more spin-offs, or at least things will be discussed again. What I mean is that for now, the Batman license is proving itself. The DCU, that's not the case yet. So for me, Matt Reeves should have the right to continue on his universe. Now, I agree that for a character like Clayface or Poison Ivy, there's a lot more interest to make these characters in James Gunn's DCU, given their fantastic connotation. Now, the Scarecrow, it wouldn't have been funny at all to have him in Matt Reeves' universe. Batman has a lot of very interesting villains that can be anchored in a realistic universe. The ventriloquist, Professor Pig, clearly there's a lot to do. So for me, Matt Reeves really deserves to have more spin-offs, and I really hope that it will be the case. What's for sure is that this task is proving to be very complex. Batman's future is rad, Batman's future is great, but having two in parallel might complicate things. So obviously we'll see what he'll come back with. But hey, the Batman Part 2 will be released on that normally. I really just hope that James Gunn didn't discuss with Matt Reeves telling him, "The Batman Part 2 must be your last The Batman movie." Because it would be a real shame. Give me your opinion in the comments below. Are you disappointed? Would you like another spin-off? Would you like a trilogy for The Batman? I'm waiting for you in the comments, and we'll see each other very soon in Gotham City.